Impossible Adventures of Supernova Jones, written by Aaron Sensor. Act 1, Scene 1. A burning building. Fire engine alarms sound in the distance. A figure holding something emerges from the building and falls to its knees. Blackout. Scene 2, a darkened room. There is a single screen in the middle of the far wall. Suddenly, loud, epic music begins playing as the screen flips on to reveal the opening sequence for an old sci-fi TV show.
And now, Channel 12 is proud to present the next exciting installment of The Impossible Adventures of Supernova Jones.
The screen shows black and white footage of Supernova Jones, a dashing space explorer, as he confronts various poorly made alien fiends.
After the mysterious destruction of the Earth by unseen forces, the surviving humans of Lunar Federation sent out a single hero to travel the universe and find the perpetrators. That hero is Supernova Jones. Tonight's episode, Supernova Jones versus the Sons of Cain. When we last left our hero, he was being held captive on his own ship by La Mez, one of the nefarious Sons of Cain. The dastardly group of space bandits with one sole purpose: to defeat Supernova Jones. Will Supernova Jones be able to escape from his infernal bonds? Can he defeat La Mez and regain control of his ship? And just what is the Sons of Cain's master plan? Find out on tonight's episode of The Impossible Adventures of Supernova Jones.
Lights up on Supernova Jones's ship cockpit. A spacious area with various consoles and lights around the perimeter, with the screen in the middle of the far wall functioning as both a window and a video screen. There are two doors, one of which leads to an unseen section of the ship, and another which is the airlock. There is a single cushioned chair in the middle of the room, to which Supernova Jones is currently tied. La Mez strides triumphantly around the room.
You'll never get away with this, La Mez!
Oh, Supernova Jones, don't you see? I already have.
Ha! Just you wait.
For what? The Sons of Cain have been monitoring this ship for quite some time, and we know that you're the only life form here. We're millions of light years away from the nearest civilized planet, and I've disabled all your communications. You're completely alone.
Curse you, La Mez! Curse you and all the Sons of Cain!
Sticks and stones, Jones. What would the famous Supernova Jones be doing way out here in the fringes of the universe? Don't you know this sector is a dead man's land?
I got lost.
You got lost? You're Supernova Jones, the shining star of the Federation. You don't get lost. In fact, our reports indicate that you've been heading in a straight line for the past few months. Very suspicious, Jones. Well, I'm not in a hurry, and you're not going anywhere fast. Now, if you don't mind...
La Mez begins frisking Supernova Jones.
There's got to be something here. Something to unravel the deep secrets of Supernova. Oh. Well, hello. What is this?
He pulls a burnt, torn piece of yellow paper out of Supernova Jones's breast pocket.
Give that back!
Oh, now this is interesting.
I said give it back!
Quiet, fool, or I'll cut out your tongue. That's not something people enjoy.
I said give that back!
That's the problem with you space heroes. Talk, 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 but you never listen. We really need to fix that.
La Mez pulls out a sword and advances upon Supernova Jones. Suddenly, from the side of the room, a small robot, Seth, sticks his head through the door. Supernova notices Seth and whistles. Seth slides the sword across the floor. Supernova catches it, cuts his ropes, and blocks La Mez's attack just in time.
On guard!
Impossible! But the report said that there weren't any life forms!
Impossible? Ha! Nothing's impossible! Seth is 100% pure robot.
Curse you!
Supernova Jones and La Mez exchange blows as Supernova forces him backwards.
How could this happen? Those ropes were made out of crystal dimonium, the strongest material that's ever been found in the entire universe!
Well, then I guess you're just going to have to keep looking.
In one smooth motion, Supernova Jones grabs the paper bag from Lamez, smashes a button on the wall to open the airlock, and kicks Lamez out of the ship.
This isn't the end, Supernova Jones. You haven't seen the last of the Sons of Good.
The door shuts, cutting off the last of Lamez's words. Seth runs out and embraces Supernova Jones.
Gee, that chore was something, Supernova. I sure thought we were done for this time.
Oh, Seth, that was nothing.
No, I mean it. I haven't been this scared since the time we fought the Undersea Strangler on Splortine 7. I don't know how you managed to remain so calm.
Simple. Even when things get rough, I know you'll always be right behind me, pal.
Well, shucks.
But enough of that. We have to call the commander and let him know about this little incident. You think you could get our comm systems up and running again?
You got it.
Seth takes a panel off the main control and begins fiddling with the wires inside.
Okay, try it now.
Supernova turns a few dials, but the screen just shows static.
Nothing. Wait. 1 second.
The static eventually gives way to reveal the face of the commander.
John, can you hear me, Aunt?
Commander, come in.
Jones! Ah, there we go. Good to see you're all right.
Same here. These Sons of Cain fellows just don't let up.
Yes, I must say, it's quite worrisome. Do you think they figured out your mission?
Unlikely. Lamez began to piece something together, but no one will be hearing from him anytime soon.
Good, good. I must say, you've been doing a bang-up job recently. Everyone here at Lunar Center is really impressed.
Thank you, Commander.
Do you have any estimate for when you'll be finding the true center of the universe?
Well, you know how it is, Commander. If it's not the Sons of Cain trying to take me down, it's some slimy space slug or a fleet of warmongering battle vixens. Delay after delay.
Yes, and you've bested everything that's come your way.
Well, I don't plan to show any signs of slowing down now.
Just what I wanted to hear. Well then, I'll let you go for now. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Commander. Supernova Jones, signing off.
The screen cuts out.
Hey, Seth, how about you mix us up some drinks to celebrate our victory, eh?
1 pan-galactic gargle blaster for you, and 1 cup of oil for me. Coming right up.
Seth scurries off.
Mind if I put on some music, buddy?
By all means, Supernova.
Supernova Jones turns a few dials and classical music begins playing on the loudspeakers. Seth comes back in with the drinks.
Thanks, pal. Here's to being one step closer to finding the true center of the universe.
They clink glasses, but only Supernova Jones drinks.
Say, Supernova, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Sure thing, pal.
Well, it has to do with what you just said about us being closer to finding the true center of the universe.
Yes, it's great, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I was just wondering, are we actually closer?
Come on. You heard Lamez. We're heading in a straight line. We're getting nearer by the second.
But how can we be sure that we're actually heading in the right direction? How do we know there even is a true center of the universe?
Seth, I'm surprised with you. For a robot, you're pretty clueless sometimes. If it's the true center of the universe, then we can simply go in any direction to get to it, right?
I'm not so sure.
And as for its existence, well, let's just call it a spaceman's intuition.
But it's impossible to know.
Impossible? Ha! Nothing's impossible. Listen, it's something your robot mind could never understand, Seth. Us humans, we don't question something as trivial as whether or not something is possible or not. We just blast ahead and crash through our obstacles until we get where we need to be.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Gee willikers, Supernova, you sure are smart. I hope to be just like you someday.
Oh, Seth, you're special just the way you are. Run along now.
Seth heads off to his room.
Robots. I'll never understand those guys. Now, computer, call up lunar residence number 3611B.
The screen flips to a calling screen. After ringing a few times, a woman, Evelyn, appears. Behind her is what looks to be a sleek and futuristic gray apartment room.
Well, well, well. Supernova Jones. Good evening.
Is it evening? It's always the same out here.
Come on. You call me at the same time every night.
Is it too much of a routine now?
No, of course not. With you, anything that bears any semblance of normalcy is a relief.
Now what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you know. The impossible adventures of Supernova Jones. Watch as Supernova battles a giant radioactive hamster from planet Vort. I've seen the movies they make about you.
Yes, well, you know those are all exaggerated.
I'm just saying. When's it gonna be Supernova Jones comes home to his loving and lonely wife?
Evelyn, you know I can't do that yet. The mission isn't over.
The mission is never over.
The true center of the universe is a long way away.
I thought I was your true center of the universe.
Evelyn,
What's there anyway that's so important?
come now. You know I can't tell you that. Classified information.
Heaven forbid the perfect Supernova Jones break his orders.
I'm doing this for you, Evelyn.
How? By leaving me alone on the moon for God knows how long? It's so cold here. Without the Earth, you think your world is off in the farthest reaches of space, but it's not. I'm here. Come back to me and let's start a family together. A legacy, a new Earth.
And where do you suppose we do that? The moon? Mars? Those aren't exactly the types of place to raise a kid.
Those are the only options right now. Sometimes it just seems like you're running away from me.
Supernova Jones doesn't run from anything.
Then how come you seem to be drifting further and further away?
Well, there's no friction in space.
Damn it! I didn't mean it literally!
Say, did you ever get that gift I sent you?
You mean the new video glasses? Sure, but don't change.
Just hear me out. Put them on.
Evelyn puts on a pair of dark wraparound glasses.
I don't see what this has to do with.
Computer, activate holoray.
What are you?
The screen cuts to a sign that says Holoray in progress. A hologram version of Evelyn walks into the room. She looks around.
Jones, what's going on? Where am I?
On board the Sunspot.
But your ship? But that's impossible!
Impossible? Ha! Nothing's impossible! You're simply being projected here via hologram. It's new technology, very hush-hush. Supposed to be used only for missions. I guess the perfect Supernova Jones doesn't follow every order, does he?
You did that for me?
I did indeed.
Oh!
Evelyn runs to hug Supernova Jones but has trouble touching him.
I can't feel you.
Yes, that is one of the few problems with it. You are still just a hologram after all.
Well, then what's the point?
I'll show you.
He moves a few dials on a console and Frank Sinatra's Cheek to Cheek begins playing. He begins dancing to it.
It's not the same thing.
Supernova Jones reaches out for her.
No, I'm still mad at you.
He begins singing along as he dances. Eventually, she gives in and begins dancing with him. Although their bodies don't touch, their hands hovering just over the other. For a brief moment, everything is perfect. As the instrumental section of the song begins, Evelyn leans in to kiss Supernova Jones, but of course stops just centimeters from his face.
I can't do this!
Evelyn,
Evelyn goes over to the console and tries turning the music off, but she's unable to do so.
Turn this music off! Turn it off! God damn it, turn it off!
He turns the music off.
I told you it wasn't gonna be the same.
of course it's not the same, but it's as close as we can get right now.
I want you to come home.
I can't.
Then I want to know what's in the true center of the universe that's so much more important than I am.
You know that's classified.
Classified information. Right. I'm leaving.
Wait! You can't leave!
Why not?
It's a hologram.
Ah, that's it! Good night, Supernova Jones!
Evelyn removes the glasses. The screen cuts to a message declaring, "Call disconnected." Blackout. Scene 3. Supernova Jones sleeps on a fold-out mattress in the cabin of the Sunspot. His blanket has fallen to the ground and he shivers and murmurs quietly. Evelyn enters, only now her hair and clothing are that of the 1980s, rather than her previously futuristic look. She watches Supernova for a bit, then picks up the blanket and places it on top of him. As she does this, she notices something on his uniform and pulls out the burnt piece of yellow paper. As she looks it over, she begins to cry. After a moment, she places it back in his pocket and gently grabs his hand. She stays there in silence as the artificial night passes on. Fade to black.